I think we have another bid.
Yeah, Jeff! Your ECCNA rape whistle help.
One real minute or one psychological?
Hello, I'm Jeff. I'm Matt.
Hey, Jeff.
I'm Lance. I'm Adam.
Lance.
My name's Dan. I'm an addict.
Hey, Dan.
We are our three presenters for today's Virginia bid. Thanks, New Jersey. You had a great presentation. Last year I went to Pittsburgh and there was 3 people from Virginia there. And today I think we got a few more in the house. I had an opportunity to house with Mike Barr at in Pittsburgh. We started brainstorming there about how to bring this convention to Virginia. We talked about a lot of different things. We talked about William and Mary College. We talked about bringing it to Williamsburg. And all that has come together in our presentation today. We have a really strong subcommittee or a host committee. Those of you that have been working on this all year long, would you please stand up, because we have we went back and kind of laid the idea out, and it just took off. It has not stopped. It's been building ever since. So Dan's going to start off with the presentation. Can y'all hear me okay? My name's Dan. I'm an addict. But I'm just one addict. I'm one addict who is up here on behalf of a bunch of other addicts that are on the community, who are here on behalf of a bunch of groups that have a bunch of areas that represent a bunch of addicts that have one concern that's driving each and every one of us. And that concern is to carry the message of hope and the promise of freedom to one of the darkest places our disease can take us. There are people incarcerated in Virginia that have never been to a Narcotics Anonymous meeting, that don't know what a Narcotics Anonymous meeting is, and have never seen a piece of Narcotics Anonymous literature. We believe it's time for that to change. The East Coast Convention has never been to Virginia before. We believe it's time for that to change too. And we believe that by the time we finish our presentation, you're going to believe the same thing. There are a lot of us in this room that remember when the East Coast Convention rivaled the size of the World Convention. A lot of us. I am amazed. I am humble. I am grateful for the lessons in history that I've been presented here this weekend by the members who have gone before me and made this program available for a simple guy like me. We agreed to follow the binding agreement between the East Coast Convention Committee and the Host Committee for Fund Flow Guidelines because we remember how disappointed we were when the East Coast Convention folded in the 90s. And we recognized how much work was involved to reconstitute this convention. And the effort and the energy and the drive and the gratitude that was expressed in members putting their own money forward to bring this convention back into being. and the guidelines they put in place to protect the convention so that the way it folded can never happen again. Thank you for that. I've been to a bunch of different conventions, but I have never been to a convention whose sole intent and purpose is to carry the message by putting literature in the hands of our incarcerated addicts. It was brilliant. It's shining a beacon of hope into those darkest, deepest places. Now, who is this committee? This committee is made up of members of the Peninsula area, the New Dominion area, the Beach area, the Tri-Cities area, and the Richmond area, and that is expanding even as we speak. All of these areas have been good at hosting conventions. We will show you a good time. We've been passing around the annual Virginia convention like a pocket comb on picture day. It's not tricky for us to put a convention together. We have experienced members that are ready and willing and able and want to do this for the primary purpose of this convention. Now, it started out with an idea. They say there's no power greater than an idea whose time has come. And the idea started when two addicts came back from the 16th and said, hey, we ought to do this. And then they carried it to Brandon. And they enlisted a bunch of us and said, let's talk about this. And we said, hey, that's a great idea. And then we thought, well, what do our areas think? Because this is not up to us. This is up to a loving, caring, higher power that speaks through group conscience. So we committed to going back to our home areas and discussing it with them. In September, we had an ad hoc committee. By January, we had letters of support from the beach area, from the peninsula area, and from the New Dominion area. Very shortly after that, we had a letter of support from the Central Atlantic region. It wasn't long after that that the Tri-Cities area and the recently the Richmond area joined us. We are open to continued participation from other areas because this is an inclusive process. Nobody gets voted off of this island. We started fundraising activities, printed t-shirts. Maybe you've seen a few of them around. To date, we have sold and distributed over 200 t-shirts at conventions and events around the Commonwealth of Virginia. We know, even if we don't get the bid, every dollar that we raise above the expense of the convention go to put basic texts in the hands of incarcerated addicts. Every dollar we raise above expenses goes to carry the message of hope and the promise of freedom. So, we also raffled some things off. We like conventions, you like conventions, we know, we're here, right? We raffled off 2 registration packets to the annual Virginia Convention with accommodations. We did the same thing for the Chesapeake-Potomac Regional Convention in April. A home group, the Peninsula Living Program group, ended up raffling off a collector's edition of the New Living Clean book. And the New Dominion area hosted a spiritual breakfast on May the 4th, where they sold 130 $10 tickets for the spiritual breakfast. A gentleman named Eli delivered a very special spiritual message. I was grateful to be there. Williamsburg is a terrific site for the East Coast Convention because they're centrally located. People from the south, people from the north, all of them can converge right there. We are well supported by active communities in Narcotics Anonymous to go ahead and provide service and direction and a solid program for you to enjoy. And we're looking to go ahead and broaden our base in some of our underserved geographical areas in the location. Williamsburg is a terrific place because it's already set up for a lot of people to be there. It's historic in its hospitality and it's representative of freedom. Local attractions, we recognize that not everybody is able to just take off on a weekend. Some of us, like myself, had to go ahead and take this week off. So if you have a family, you gotta have something to do with them too, right? So we have other attractions out here too. If you like shopping, if you like fine dining, if you like golf or museums, or you like amusement parks, water parks, or if you like beaches and fishing piers or charter cruises, or if you any of the above, all of the above, you can find it in the area, and your family will be grateful to be coming along with it. Our host site, the historic college in Williamsburg, second oldest college in the nation. Okay, we kind of got that feeling like we remember when the East Coast Convention went to Yale, and the prestige that went along with that. The idea that somebody not only would allow us, somebody of this stature would allow us to be there, these people are looking forward to our arrival in June of next year. The amenities are great. The dorm rooms and suites are clean and comfortable. The cafeteria is looking forward to serving food for us. There's plenty of eateries within walking distance if you want to get out and about a little bit. Access is easy. There's 3 different airports that you can come through. There's Amtrak. There's interstate highway access, camping and RV parks. You can even come on the Jamestown Ferry if you want to. Easy to get to. And we're looking forward to your arrival. We have the knowledge, experience, and ability to provide you a terrific convention. We have a facility that's looking forward to our arrival. We want to make this happen, but we're not making this happen for us. We're making this happen because we believe that there is a need that has to be addressed in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Well, you know, there's really 3 points to the bid that are important. One is building support. And that's why we fundraised and went across Virginia doing all the fundraising so we could tell people what the purpose was of this convention. By the way, Dan didn't mention it, we raised over $5,000 this year. And that's going to go to the 18th no matter where it goes. Wow. Virginia is a large state. There's only 500 miles across the bottom right here. We have a lot of rural areas in Virginia. We have a lot of metropolises all around here and up in here. A lot of fellowship around this part, the central part of Virginia. We also have a lot of really rural areas right here that are not very serviced by our community structure. It's you know, being the state is it's very rural in many areas. In the Department of Corrections, let's go to the next slide here. We have 46 major institutions in Virginia, and for the Virginia Department of Corrections, these are all listed through here. Where they're fellowship, we serve a lot of these facilities where we have NA services. But when you get out here in this part of the state, they don't have any fellowship there. We get the Virginia Department of Corrections has built all these facilities in rural areas to stimulate the economy in these areas, and NA fellowship is just not there for community service. To the next slide. We have 2 major federal penitentiaries, one in Petersburg, Virginia. There's no NA in either one of these facilities that we know of, served by ECCNA. That's all the way as far western tip of Jonesville, Virginia. And then we have 76 regional jails and county facilities. We only have about 200 NA meetings that we know of in all those facilities. There's about 30,000 vendors in Virginia products, right? Over 30,000. All these are featured members of narcotics anonymous. We know the numbers. We know that 80% incarcerated or in there on some kind of drug alcohol later on. We know that. We know the recidivism rate is 80%. Virginia believes in punishment. They don't believe in reform. They don't believe that Narcotics Anonymous is a resource. We struggled getting in there. It took me 20 years to get clean before I got into my first state facility where I could see service. We get some letters. I worked on the regional HNI subcommittee for a long time. And we get to the mailbox and we get these letters and they come in from all over the state, pleading for help. And we respond to them now. But we're not able to take that. We've got a couple of efforts.
I'm in the Department of Corrections in Mecklenburg. There are no meetings to go to at all. I'm writing because I need help. The urge to relapse is all around me. From Gregory R.
We have no inmate group. Nobody comes in. Jail is huge, about 800 inmates. We don't have room, we can't get nobody approved to come in. Roger B.
I'm an inmate at Western Tidewater Regional Jail. I'm here on a drug charge. I desperately need a Narcotics Anonymous book. Is there any way I could have one sent to me? It would mean so much to me. We do not have any meetings in the jail. Cheryl.
You know, a lot of us here in Virginia recognize the need and we wanted to try to express it the best we could. You know, that's the most important thing about this convention. Get the hands as close to these incarcerated people. Might not be able to get here more people. We're not going to give them a book. You know, I've worked at ECCNA for a long time. And I've got burnt out because there's so much damn work to do, you can't do it all. And I just get, you know, I just have to stop sometimes and like go back and just kind of regroup. And I've always hoped for an opportunity to be able to make a difference in Virginia. And when I went to the East Coast Convention last year, I thought that opportunity was right in front of me. And I came home and I told some people about it. And it's just taken off. And I want to thank everybody for being here today.